Hey, I'm Grant Burkhart reporting from Paul Culver Jr. Stadium, where the Sheridan Generals, the #1 seed in their part of the bracket, come in at 10-0 and largely favored over the Franklin Wildcats, the #8 seed, at 6-4. Franklin didn't want their season to end tonight, and even though the rage cage behind me was intimidating, the Wildcats weren't intimidated by anything the Generals did tonight. It was a great game, so take a look. Sheridan coach Paul Culver Jr. talking to his players maybe about the fumbles that kept it close early. It was only 14-0 Sheridan at the half. The first drive for Franklin in the second half, Quentin Jones takes the pitch right. Kid got skills, and he's gone. 68 yards into your computer screen. That makes the score 14-7 and gives Franklin a little bit more of that Cinderella upset hope. But Sheridan would respond. Treg Ulmer to Robert Spillin, tight end, down the seam for 21 yards. And then a few plays later, Gage Latozo, a big run, 11 yards, grabbing defenders and taking them down to the 3. And then a few plays later, Gage Latozo, a 3-yard touchdown, would make the score 20-7 Sheridan. Things got a little chippy in the third quarter as tempers flared. This is playoff football, folks. No one wants to go home. It was an intense game out there. But when the game resumed, Sheridan took over. Treg Ulmer took the keeper 23 yards. And then on the next play, do you know what time it is? It's Brian Crater time. This is 10 of his 221 yards on the ground in the game. And on the next play, an 8-yard run up the middle. And then a few plays later, 2 plays later to be exact, he takes the pitch right, breaks a few tackles, and dives into the end zone for one of his 3 touchdowns on the game. But Franklin would mount a drive of its own. The screen pass to Kyle Salyers for 25 yards gets him down into Sheridan territory. And then Quentin Jones, a hard-fought 14 yards, bouncing off of defenders. But then after a sack and a penalty, Tyler Wolf drops back, and he is sacked by Drew Carpenter, and that would end the Franklin threat. They would have to punt. And on that ensuing punt return, Tyler Cremens breaks tackles and scampers up the left side for a huge gain on the punt return, and that would set up this a few plays later. Treg Ulmer to Bobby Denny, 2 first names, always a crowd pleaser. A great diving catch for 27 yards. And then a few plays later, Kyle Pfeiffer, a 1-yard touchdown, puts the game away, 33-7 at that point. The seniors ring the victory bell for the last time in front of their home fans. All right, I'm here with Brian Crater, running back for Sheridan. Brian, a big win tonight, 33-7 over Franklin. Moving on next week to play Eastmore. What's it like to go out victorious in front of the fans at home?
It feels great. I mean, it's the last game we'll ever play on this field, and we just got to leave it all out here.
What do you think about the offensive production tonight? The offensive line was opening huge holes for you tonight. What do you think?
The offensive line was the key tonight. They did a great job. They always do.
I mean, it is playoff football, so what do you think your team can expect going into to the game next week against Eastmore?
Well, from what I know they have a lot of speed, so we've got to contain that. But for us, we just got to keep doing the same things we've been doing all year.
And you played tough on defense, too, tonight. Only give up 7 points, just the one big run. What do you think is the key for your defense down the stretch?
Key is just to keep contain and keep speed inside and in front of us.